Hello, guys. Welcome to join our roundtable. The recent consumption boom, especially during the holidays that just passed, reflects the prosperous market expectations in the Chinese market. And many experts have anticipated that China's GDP growth will sustain a rapid expansion this year. So, how do both young generations in China and abroad perceive the prospects of the Chinese market? Today, we are very delighted to have Moise Macruz, editor at Pakistan Economic Net, Innocent Orikiriza, founder and CEO of Cast Cyber Technologies in Uganda, and Fan Hongyi, founder of Curiosity. Thank you guys all for joining us. Could you guys briefly introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe Moise, you can go first.
Sure. Firstly, I would like to thank CGTN Global to take us on board for this lovely roundtable discussion. Secondly, I would like to correct you. My name is Muiz Farouk, not Makruz.
Oh,
So
sorry,
it's okay.
Farouk, right?
Yes, my name is Muiz Farouk, and I'm editor at Pakistan Economic Net, and I'm joining from Pakistan for this live roundtable discussion.
Okay, thank you. And what about Innocent?
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Innocent Orikiliza, the founder and CEO of a tech startup based in Kampala that is building electronic ticketing and payment systems for public transport. Yeah, I'm speaking from Kampala, and my Chinese name is Innocent, for those who are in the Chinese audience. Nice to be here.
Oh, that's your Chinese name?
Yeah, Innocent, yeah.
Oh, great, Innocent. And what about Hongyi?
Thank you so much, Zhu Zhu, for having me. My name is Fan Hongyi. You can call me Troy. I'm the founder and CEO of Curiosity, which is a platform facilitating cross-cultural communications and cross-border collaborations with the aim to, drive collective actions on global challenges. I'm joining this wonderful panel from Chengdu, China. Thank you for having me.
Cool. So you are from different countries. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, first, let's get to Moise and Innocent. You are in Pakistan and Uganda. Let's start with Moise. So what is your initial connection with China? I've heard that your grandpa even wrote a book about China, right? Could you share with us your story?
Yes, the connection with China of our house of our media house goes in the late 1980s. My grandfather he had the opportunity to meet His Excellency Deng Xiaoping and Premier Chun Lai in China. Once with Zedi Bhutto, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and once with Ziaul Haq, then President of Pakistan. So when he visited China and when he came back, he wrote a book. I will show you guys the book. So this is the book. He wrote this book. The name of this book, basically this book is in Urdu, but the name is Diyar Dost Ki Taraf. I would like to translate the headline of this book. It says towards friend's house. So in 1980, when there was no CPEC or no BRI, still when he went there, he saw that the lifeline for Pakistan could be China in future, because he actually believed that China is the realest friend of Pakistan. So when he came back, he wrote this book called Diyar Dost Ki Taraf, towards friend's house. So this is our link with the China. So I won't call it link. I would say that this is our love story from with the China. I'm the third generation who's working closely with China and who is covering Chinese news on our media platforms.
Cool. And how long has he been staying in China?
He hasn't been able to stay for long, but his trips were he visited China twice, and his trips were for he was on official trips with the president and prime minister of Pakistan in his media delegation. So he stayed for like 4 days on both the trips.
Okay, so it's like what broad picture that he bring to you about like China or Chinese economy?
So when he came back and when we used to be small and young. And now I'm 24. When when I was around 10 or 12 years old, he used to tell us stories about China. That when he visited China, he saw that people are so hardworking. They're working to improve their lifestyle. They're working on their economy. So when he came back after his second trip with Ziaul Haq, the president of Pakistan, he said that if Pakistan wants to prosper, Pakistan needs to learn from China, and they should adapt the Chinese style, because how they are working right now for their economy, to change their lifestyle, to change the entire world, to change the entire China. So he, at that time, he told us that when you guys get a bit old, then you guys will see the real rise of China, because they're working day and night tirelessly to improve their lifestyle and improve their economy.
Yeah, we are very looking forward to seeing your prospects about like how the two countries can learn from each other and to boost their economy. And what about you, Innocent? What's your initial connection with China, and why did you choose the Chinese market to cooperate with?
Yes, actually, it goes deep up to when I was in high school. Yeah, my high school is one of those schools that was established through a friendship engagement with the government of China. It's actually named as the Chinese Friendship School. Yeah, so that school was built when I was a student there, and the Chinese were giving all the support to putting up good infrastructure. And even though I graduated from another school, but I had, of course, had a good feeling of the efforts and the relationship that China was extending to Uganda. Yeah, so after graduating from high school, from a school which was now not the one where I had started my academics, because it didn't have the upper classes by then. I had a chance to get a scholarship through the Chinese Scholarship Council, which is also a bilateral assistance that China extends to most countries, including some African countries. And I landed in Beijing in 2009, went to Tianjin University for pursuing Chinese language classes for 1 year. And after that, I came back to Beijing for pursuing a course in telecommunications engineering from the University of Beijing Posts and Telecommunications. Yeah, so I've been, since 2010, I've been staying in the capital city of China. Had a chance to like establish a lot of friends, and on the business side, but also on the personal life. And I also had the chance to graduate in 2014 and pursue the master's up to 2016, which again was sponsored by the Beijing municipal government. And you can see it's really great and deep for me, the relationship with China. Around my academic career, it has formed my professional lifestyle up to date. Yeah, so I had 4 years of working experience in China before coming back to Kampala, Uganda, to do my tech startup. Yeah, I know there are a lot, can't summarize
What
a
an
decade.
experience.
Yeah.
Can you speak Chinese now?
Yeah, definitely. I did my telecommunications engineering course with Chinese students in a fully Chinese language class.
Wow. Yeah, we will talk about the people-to-people exchange opportunities later in our show. And what about you, Hongyi? In what area you are in? And during the like China's economy is really now bouncing back from the pandemic. What are some new trends that you have observed during the recovery of China's economy in your industry?
Right. Basically, we are an educational consulting firm. We are helping the young people in China and also the enterprises to be more globally competent. I think the panelists here, we are privileged to have all sorts of connections with different cultures, but it's not really the case for many other people. So we are trying to help and facilitate this kind of cross-border collaborations in the business world, also people-to-people cultural exchange. So right now we've partnered with some prestigious organizations, and now we are running a flagship program on SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals. We are bringing together a group of tech entrepreneurs from across the world so people can work together on some shared issues, some global challenges together on our platform. At the same time, we're also bringing some of the Chinese domestic enterprises for their overseas expansion on their international events, matchmaking sessions, et cetera, et cetera. So post-pandemic, I'd say, first of all, let me just start by saying that I lived through the pandemic in China, traveling and living, working both between Chengdu, which is in the western part of China, and Beijing, the capital city. So I watched how the things unfolded first, on the ground, basically. So I'd say Chinese economy did take a hit from the pandemic, that's no doubt, but also showed great resilience. Right now, I think there's some lingering impact with the pandemic till today, but I'd say there are so many positive signals on the economic outlook, right? So I think all of these are not without challenges, but the policymakers and government departments are taking incremental steps and measures to deal with some issues, especially in understanding what's happening right now with the real estate sector. Some big companies like Evergrande and Country Yard are in some financial troubles. There are some problems that we are dealing with, but more importantly, I think it's important to look at some of the new funded growth engine in the economy. So our startup, our team is trying to play our part in that process to facilitate more cross-border collaboration, in relevant sectors to, basically help with the future growth in relevant business markets. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the ESG sector, right? Yeah, that's a very emerging sector here, both in China and also all over the world. So have you observed some new trends or new changes in the ESG sector? How can we better promote that?
Yeah, what I talked about was mainly about sustainable development goals, that is SDGs, but definitely it's relevant to ESG as well. I think that's also a major trend in the Chinese market, because more and more stakeholders in the market are integrating ESG philosophies and also shouldering more social responsibilities, whether that's on the environment, their governance, some social related issues. So I think that's a very positive trend, because we're kind of shifting from the previous emphasis mainly on the economic high growth rates to the more sustainable growth by balancing different issues, not only on pursuing the profit making. So I think that's very important. And there are also increasing number of incentives in place. So more smaller enterprises and companies are also taking actions for to be more sustainable, to be more environmentally friendly. And on the other hand, I think the younger generation, like the Gen Z millennials, were more aware of this kind of social issues, and they are also helping to kind of accelerate this trend. So the business side and the consumer side are working towards a more sustainable market consumption trends. So that's one of the trends I kind of observed here.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. Like more and more companies are really not just looking at the profits, but also looking for a very sustainable development. And Innocent, as you are in the high-tech sector, while cooperating with Chinese companies, what are some new trends that you have observed in China's development in the high-tech sector?
Yeah, so To get to that, I have to double click on exactly what we do and why we do it. So I came back to Africa in 2019 with a dream to change how people move, like providing systems that promote convenience, but also safety. And since that time, I've been building a software platform, support transport operators and passengers to move from point A to point B without losing money. And when I came here, I found, of course, the sector is very informal. The infrastructure is still just developing. And worse to the point, COVID hit, and public transport sector was one of those that was really very frustrated and always being suspended to contain the spread of the virus. Yeah, so recently I came back to Beijing to compare notes on what is happening and how they've been able to advance in building systems of this nature that will promote convenience, but also safety for the public. And the key trends I see, they are too soft for a layman to see, but I see AI is in the picture, big data is in the picture, and of course, the payment experience has evolved to be more convenient and easy for a day-to-day commuter. Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned like technology is the new trend. So could you give us some examples, like how it is helping you to upgrade those infrastructure projects?
Yeah, so definitely recently, while in Beijing, I happened to see the use of QR code across different scenarios. But we're adopting the same scenario to implement QR code in public transport in Africa. But still, you see, Africa, especially where I come from, Uganda, has not even gone through the e-carton, the card solution, where people have a transport card. So I actually have to adopt the two things because not everyone in Africa has a smartphone. So we are trying to cater for two markets at the same time. But because we are learning from a mature market that has deployed these systems for over a decade and beyond, and I know behind the scenes, we're also adopting high technology solutions like AI to make sure that as we grow our product, then it is very adaptive and scalable, and of course, following the new trends. Yeah.
Yes, that's very good for you. I just came back from Ethiopia, so I can totally understand what you say. Yeah, you can really bring back those experiences and technologies that you got from China and then to promote them in Africa. That's a very good platform and very good thing to do. And you mentioned the e-carton, right? A digital card that you can help you to almost connect all different types of transportation here in China. And how's that going in Pakistan? Or Uganda, sorry.
Yeah, so we are the pioneer of this solution in the transport space. Just in a month's time, we are supposed to demonstrate this technology at the National Science Innovation Week, which is a national event. We hope to get feedback from the users, but also from government, and of course attract support in terms of regulation, but also, being a payment solution, there are controls around this space. So we have to bring all the stakeholders on board, including Central Bank, Ministry of Transport, and all those who are thinking of improving the transport experience. Yeah, Kampala is one of those congested cities, and which is heavily reliant on cash. We think this solution of the card can minimize the use of cash, as we know cash is very related to a lot of risks, including spread of diseases which are contagious, but also is related to corruption. Yeah, in a cash environment, a lot of things go on and no one is accountable. So we really think we're building something, and we look forward to having more stakeholders on board. And good enough, we have a few and very prominent and reputable Chinese companies with experience on board. And the future, I'm sure, will be even brighter.
Yes, that's a big move. We are looking forward to see how it's going in the future and to see how these advanced technologies can help people in both China and Uganda to live a better life, to boost the infrastructure projects there. And Moise, let me get to you. So how do you see the ongoing trends in China's economic transition from being manufacturing driven to a more advanced service-oriented and also technology-oriented one that we just talked about?
The transformation is quite exceptional. How China is going from manufacturing to the service sector of the economy. I was going through an article and some research that how China has got on to the driver's seat for the AI and 5G services and quantum computing as well. So this basically shows that China is now moving from manufacturing towards the services and how they are providing these things, how they are doing the research and R&D on such things. This shows that China is now focusing towards the service side of the economy, service market, because a few years back and at early times, China was famous for their manufacturing. Now the trends have starting to change from manufacturing towards the service side, and in that I was going through an article and some research. Then lately, that how China's economy has improved from after the pandemic as well. The Chinese manufacturing PMI has also increased from 49.7 to 0.4. The increase is up by 0.4. That's quite amazing. The domestic tourism revenue has also increased from 1.21 trillion to has increased to $1.21 trillion yuan. So that's quite exceptional. This shows that the people of China, they are moving towards, now they have started earning very well. Now they're more interested towards the service market, how to give service to the entire world as well. And because of that, the foreign direct investment in China has increased as well. This shows that as there is quite hard for the entire economies of the world, but still China is thriving in that sector. The FDIs has increased in China. This basically, the increase in FDI shows that the international community has a huge trust on China's economy. That's why they have started doing the foreign direct investment in China, and especially after post-pandemic. So all because of all these things, China has an upper hand to move from manufacturing towards service side of the economy.
Yeah, and if we bring all these changes down to our daily life, so Moise and Innocent, what are some like for Chinese products going international, especially in your countries that where you are at, what are some unique advantages that you guys have observed for these Chinese products going international, and how can they do even better?
Basically, if I talk about Pakistan, the Chinese products have gained a huge market in Pakistan, whether it be um, anything, any sort of product that has a huge market, whether it be toys, electronic things, everything of China has a huge potential market in Pakistan. Lately, all those things which used to be very expensive and people of Pakistan used to bring it from abroad. Now China has provided all those things in a cheaper value. Not they haven't compromised on the quality, but yes, they have provided some very exceptional prices in Pakistan, so that the middle class and lower middle class, they can get the advantage of all these things of technology, the Huawei phones, other phones, the Zong is also a Chinese company. The services they are providing to the people of Pakistan, the packages, the internet packages on mobile. So all these things, they have helped the people of Pakistan in a very good manner. As now they are able to purchase all those facilities and get all those facilities in a low price but in a high quality if we compare it to the world. So this shows Their Chinese products, Chinese services, they have a huge potential market in Pakistan, if not in the upper middle class, but yes, in the middle class and lower middle class, because Pakistan is being badly struck with the high hyperinflation right now. So, so the middle class and lower middle class can be the right market for the Chinese products, as they provide some very exceptional price. They play on low prices and high quality. So all those people are falling in the category of middle class and lower middle class, and in fact upper middle class. Now they'll be able to get all the facilities and the products and the services of China very easily, and in even in this hyper inflated economy.
Yeah, low price and high quality. That's a very good point.
High
And you
quality.
mentioned about
That's
services
the
too.
that's yes, that's the key for, I guess, for the Chinese people in Pakistan, because they never compromise on the quality, but yes, they do
Uh-huh.
offer some exceptional prices for the people of Pakistan.
Yeah. And you also mentioned about services, right? What are some services that you have experienced from China in your country?
Lately, I have experienced some. I haven't experienced a lot of services from China right now in Pakistan, but there have been few services which are been very exceptional. Whether it be the guidelines they are creating for their economy and the services they are providing, especially they are giving some media training to the people of Pakistan, for the media people, for tourism people, for cross culture exchange programs. So all those services, they are very exceptional, and because of that people are able to learn properly and easily and efficiently the style of Chinese and how they're working in their country, and what are their plans in our country, and how the people of Pakistan can get benefited from all those things. So these are some services which I mentioned. There must be many others apart from my industry or apart from my experiences, but these things I have seen it very closely, and these services, it has been giving an opportunity to the people of Pakistan to learn efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, that's really a broad range of services. I haven't thought about that earlier. Thank you for sharing with us. And what about you, Innocent? What are some Chinese products in your daily spending that you buy, and what advantages do you think that they have?
Definitely, most of the things we use in our daily life are made from China. I think this originates from the major trade route, the extended One Belt, One Road, and I think you talk about a pen, or pencil someone at such a low level uses, you will find it's mostly made from China. And we recently have two key trends in the market. One, the Chinese themselves are getting interested in serving directly the African user. And amazing enough, they have a better understanding of the good quality of products they can import from China and satisfy the Ugandan consumer needs. So you find a range of everything, from food to daily items that we use in our houses. But another trend that is coming up, of course, because of the initiative that the government is trying to promote local manufacturing and value addition, most Chinese are coming in here, building factories and making things we use in our daily life, including basins, plates. You find everything they can get a raw material. They are bringing technology to make sure that it is either manufactured or assembled here, so that we have the low taxes, of course, because they have incentives, and eliminate the waiting time, because if you ordered something from China, sometimes it takes about 40 days to go through the shipping and clearing. Yeah, so whereas we may be seeing most of the items even made in Uganda, but there's a big Chinese effort to make sure that manufacturing and the entire value chain of the products we conceive, China has really tried to establish these links with the government, because a lot of bilateral arrangements happen when these Chinese investors are coming on the ground, and they end up building profitable businesses and giving us good stuff.
Yeah, it took only 4 to 5 days to ship from China to Uganda. That's really convenient.
45.
Yeah.
40,
Oh, 45.
Drew, yeah, 45 days. And
Oh,
that's what is
45
actually,
days.
yeah, and that is what is actually causing the need for local manufacturing, leveraging Chinese technologies and experience, but of course, investment as well. Yeah, and of course, we have taxes of about 60% on most of the things imported. So if these Chinese who are coming here, doing local assembly and manufacturing, are not subjected to such high taxes. So it's a win-win. Yeah.
Yes, and we hope that the time can be even shorter in the future with the help of those technologies, maybe. And also,
Yeah.
Hongyi, I know you are involved in the cross-border trade, right? How do you think of innocence sharing, the 45-day shipment, and how's your experiences in doing cross-border trade this year, especially compared to the last 2 years during the pandemic?
Yeah, first of all, maybe I can add the also the competitive advantage of some Chinese, especially consumer goods, because I believe
Yeah, sure.
China is, of course, a big market, but also a very competitive one. So after all those competitions, so the goods really, those ones survive the competition are really, very competitive, right? So they definitely also have a market overseas. So that's also a trend we've been observing regarding, whether it's a cross-border trade or, business transactions. People are looking outward, right, to expand to overseas, maybe Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and also to Africa, all those Belt Road countries. So I think, but till this day, I think there are some optimism in this space because we see the opportunities, but you also come with some challenges. Like Innocent mentioned, this still takes quite some time for the shipment, right? There are some barriers regarding maybe the languages, the culture, also the compliance regulations. So it's gonna take time slowly. Once the business people, and maybe in China, figure out on some nitty-gritty stuff, it will take on a fast tracking pace. But that definitely, I think it's a promising outlook in this trade, like for the Chinese consumer goods going overseas.
Yes, true. We look forward to see maybe the shipment days can be much shortened in the future with all these efforts by you young people and also all those companies from both China and other countries. So how is your cross-border trade performing this year, especially compared to the previous 2 years? How is it going during the post-pandemic era? Is it better now?
Yeah. So post-pandemic, we received a great interest from the Chinese enterprises to go overseas, but not necessarily on the trading part. We mainly focus on their overseas activities, like doing matchmaking or organizing events in foreign markets. Giving you one good example, like we supported one Kunshan-based science park for their matchmaking session, also the manufacturing forum in Frankfurt, Germany, because that's actually their first trip overseas to Europe after 3 years of the pandemic. And they were very eager to finally meet those partners and potential clients in person. I think one lesson we learned from the pandemic is that the Zoom meetings, the conference calls can never replace the in-person interactions. That human
like what we are doing now, right?
Is super important. Yeah, but I think it's a good beginning to get connected in a more meaningful way by having constructive conversations like the one we're having right now. But essentially, people want to really be in close, with one another to really feel the emotions, to building that human touch, human connections. So I think in that approach. I think many Chinese, maybe science park government delegations, they're all going overseas to trying to meet those partners, potential clients, stakeholders in person, and vice versa. Here in Chengdu, we also recently received some delegations from Germany, from Australia. This kind of some of them are student groups, right? I think it serves as a good beginning for future collaboration, especially after the so many uncertainties during the pandemic. It's very important to foster that people-to-people connections and also the trust. Not necessarily while already starting doing more and more business deals, but in the long run, it will really become really fruitful in so many industries and market developments. So that's something we're also observing, and we are also very glad to see this very optimistic trend.
Yes, and apart from optimistic trends, you also mentioned about the challenges. Through your experiences, what are some common challenges for companies doing with the overseas market that are still facing now during the post-pandemic era, and how can we better solve them?
Yeah, it has to do with different the barriers regarding, again, the languages, the market regulations, the cultures, especially after 3 years hiatus because of the pandemic. People kind of lost that connection. So it's gonna take time. And for many foreign maybe investors or entrepreneurs who have been interested in the Chinese market, maybe they will take more cautious considerations because they have to evaluate what's the real situation happening underground in China coming out of a pandemic. What are the lingering impacts are still there? So I think the challenges in that it's like a process which will really take more time for both sides to start reconnecting and re-engaging with one another.
Yes, to reconnect step by step. And what about you, Innocent? What's your experiences? What are some challenges that you see companies are still facing now that are doing overseas businesses during the post-pandemic era?
Yeah, there has been, especially in some of the sensitive business chains, there have been, of course, shortage of the chip, if I talk in context of the high-tech businesses.
Yeah.
And this has created a lag in delivery of some of the items that are highly needed if you look at the value chain. And the shipment delays, but which of course is improving recently. These have been very noteworthy during and after the pandemic. But I'm so certain new ways of resolving these are being discussed. Yeah, for example, in the context of Uganda, we're having a bilateral strategic engagement to make sure that our Uganda airlines can fly directly to China without stopping in the middle. And when that happens, we can have more cargo coming through by air, which instead of the 45 days, you could be receiving things in 2 days.
Yes, good to know. And amid all these changes and challenges, our young people also play a pivotal role in the evolving economic landscape. We often hear that young people should be more innovative, but how can we really be more innovative? Could each of you share some tips for our young people for fostering innovation? Moise, maybe you can go first.
So for the young people, I would suggest that they should take the advantage and learn the technology, especially the AI. Now I believe that AI is the future, and the people of Pakistan, we are lucky enough to have our neighbor China, our closest friend, and China being the leader of the market in AI and development of AI and innovations in AI. I believe that the people of Pakistan, and not only the people of Pakistan, overall youth of the world, they should learn the new techniques how to run the AI efficiently, what is 5G, what is quantum computing. So I would suggest to the youth that they should learn all these things. And apart from studying, yes, study is very important and education is very must. But apart from education, they should take out some time to learn about these things, about these innovations, and how these innovations can be used in their daily routine. And if that thing is being learned by the youth, they can excel in it. They can have a good set of skills which can help them in earning, in excelling in their fields. So I believe that the youth should be more tilted towards learning the technology, learning the advancement of the technology, especially AI, 5G, quantum computing, so that the youth, they don't have, in Pakistan, most of the youth uh, depends on their parents and their families. So I would suggest to the youth of Pakistan that they should learn these things and get self-dependent. They don't have to depend on others, on their families, and rather they should start supporting, because the entire world and people around the globe, they're earning quite well from these technologies. And I believe that Pakistan is still facing some difficulties. They still lack in the knowledge and the right set of skills, which can be used to make some monetary benefits for themselves, for their families. So I would suggest them that they should basically learn what is AI, how AI can be helpful in their fields. Because when they'll be able to learn what exactly is AI and how they can use it in their fields, then they'll be able to excel in those fields as well. So we all know AI is the future. We should move towards AI, 5G, and more innovations coming in the technology. So this way, people of Pakistan, especially the youth, because when I say people of Pakistan, 64% of population of Pakistan right now is youth. So we are more tilted towards the youth in our population. So the people of Pakistan and youth of Pakistan should be more technological friendly, and so that they can be self-sustainable, they can make a better life for themselves and for their families.
Yes, AI sector is really developing very rapidly in recent years. For like in our daily
Yes,
life, we may use ChatGPT, and also there are many AI
true.
projects in different activities. And Innocent, as you are in the high tech sector, I think you may have more to add. So how can we young people be more innovative, especially maybe like high tech related or the industry that you are more familiar with?
Yeah, interestingly, I nowadays believe everyone can innovate. But in the context of my country, the population that is at the youth stage is more than 80%. More than 80% people here are below 35 years. So you find the innovation space is going, and the entire business space is going to rely heavily on the youth. But it's pretty important for the youth to identify the challenge and do a proof of concept to be sure that their ideas will solve real challenge that exists at a scalable market. Because if you look at Africa in general, our market size per country, they are normally small. So you can't grow to a unicorn in one country. You have to scale into another country. Whereas it's possible in China because it's a wide market. Here, you have to scale to another country. So it's very important for the youth who are going into innovation, especially from the high-tech space, to be sure that the business model is right, solving the existing problem, and is scalable across other nearby markets, if not beyond their society. But of course, it's not always about profit. You find most companies here, they are social enterprises, and they are tackling issues that are society related and may not necessarily make money. But if someone is innovating for the business side, I would definitely recommend they check the market size, they check the business model, and ensure the traction of their target market is big enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and many young people are very interested in like how do they know if their business model can really work? Do you have any tips to share?
Yeah, from my experience, you find a pilot client and you speak more to users of the product and iterate. And if you're to fail with the business model you have in mind, you fail fast. If you fail fast, you don't keep sleeping, you wake up and take on the next challenge. Yeah. That's what I would suggest the young people to really adopt.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And what about you, Hongyi? As a young entrepreneur, how do you think we young people can be more innovative? Any tips to share?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I just want to echo what Moise talked about regarding AI tools. I personally have been using some of the tools and found them very useful and help me really increase the productivity. So something I would often remind myself and share with my friends is that be in the AI game rather than standing on the sideline watching, right? There are so many incredible or interesting AI tools out there. There are new ones coming up every day. Just have a try, see what are the good fits you can leverage for your new business, your work. Stuff like that can really help you to become more creative and innovative. And also, I've been reading the newly published the biography of Elon Musk, who obviously is the innovator of our time, right? Launching several ventures that really transform our day-to-day life. So one takeaway from the book so far, I'd say, is the risk-taking, right? Whether it's in the case of Elon Musk launching rockets, making electric cars, pioneering different sectors. There are so many risks, and some scenarios, Musk would always almost go bankrupt. But he was a guy really not only take the risk, he's kind of addicted to those risks because that's where the fun stuff, the creative stuff, exciting stuff happen. So another advice I would give to fellow young entrepreneurs and young people is that always find something that's really interests you, although can be challenging. And sometimes it's okay to challenge the status quo, asking a lot of whys, start digging deeper and deeper. That's where you can find your niche. Potentially can be your long-time endeavor as a entrepreneur. So just to recap, I'd say stay in the game of the new things, including AI tools, and also be visionary, risk-taking. And in that way, there are many things you can enjoy as an entrepreneur, not necessarily for what it will bring you, but the pure experience of being an entrepreneur is something you can find rewarding. Yeah.
Yes, I can't agree with you more. Addicted to risks, that's a very valuable spirit for the young people too, right? Because we have nothing to lose. And we know that you are also the youth representative for the Summer Davos Forum this year. So what are some key topics that the younger generation are discussing, are focusing on this year? Could you share with us? And what impressed you the most?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely a humbling and very exciting experience being at World Economic Forum annual meeting happened earlier this year in Davos, Switzerland. I was very fortunate to join by other 50 youth delegates from across the globe. So many of us are, young advocates, young entrepreneurs. And a few very important topics where our young people had a chance to actually speak on the stage, not only being seated and on the table, but also had the opportunity to voice out some of our young people's concern. Our voices is surrounded on like more very important issues related to the younger generations, like climate change, sustainability, and gender equality, refugee crisis, and stuff like that. So I walked away with a lot of very inspiring stories and also friendship, because the delegates in our group at the Davos, they are from different backgrounds. They have different point of views. So it's very valuable for me to understand different perspectives on certain global issues. So in that way, we can really nurture friendship, building meaningful connections, and potentially we can work together on certain issues as a joint effort. And another very important topic was frequently brought up on the forum might be also the challenges and opportunities of the AI advancement, because that was about the time when ChatGPT was really in the hype. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was using it. On the one side, there are some, benefits of it, empowering different industries. There were tremendous applications and use cases to the mass market. On the other side, many thought leaders also voiced their concerns regarding the potential threats and risks of the AI that can bring to our life, like spreading misinformation, deep fake technologies, right? Creating conflicts and stuff like that. So those topics were really eye-opening. Until this day, I'm still in touch with some of the fellow delegates. We're still in discussion, but I think this kind of conversations, this kind of connections can really go a long way and facilitate future collaborations across cultures, across also the markets. Yeah.
Yes, so AI and technology again. So all of these advanced technologies are really some key topics that the younger generation are looking at in recent years. And Innocent, you're also in the high-tech sector, and you also talked about the people-to-people exchange opportunities like Hongyi mentioned. Could you share your experience with us? Maybe the exchange program between Chinese talents and those from Uganda?
Yeah, so to that, I just have to double click on my experience. So I came to China through very strategic exchange and funded program between Uganda and China. And in my period there, over the course of years, I've seen several other programs that are really very transformative. Yeah, China engages in a lot of things with African countries. Outside trade, you'll find they train our government officers in areas of peace, yeah, and security, yeah, including military training, of course. And they bring them up to speed on how to use trending technologies to solve real problems that our country is facing. Yeah, then I've seen other very transformative trainings that are geared towards enhancing our tax collection, yeah, where they even offer equipment to cut down like illegal trade, but also they offer other equipment to make sure that tax collection is fair and seamless. And this is part of the bigger plan of China to help the entire continent really develop, come out of poverty, but while creating peace across the region. Yeah, I think it's very a lot, because even of recent I saw the Chinese officials were involved in training our tourism employees right from Beijing, teaching them the best practices to handle animal wildlife. And of course, Uganda relies heavily on tourism. It's one of, I think, the top 3 industries that generate money for our country. Yeah, so it goes beyond their agricultural exchanges. Being a country that relies on agriculture, mostly above 70%, China is giving us a lot of tips on that, giving us machinery, and really you can go up to every industry and you find China is involved in giving us assistance. Yeah.
Yeah, these opportunities are really providing a great platform for talents from both China and other countries to communicate with each other and to learn from each other to improve themselves. And we know that there are many projects undergoing under the Belt and Road Initiative too, because this year also marks the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, which includes projects benefiting countries such as Pakistan and Uganda, where you guys are from, like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So, Moise, could you share with us some of your stories related to the Belt and Road Cooperation and how it has influenced China and your hometown?
So yes, coming towards the BRI and CPEC, CPEC has created a lot of jobs in our country. There has been CPEC has created around 236,000 jobs, direct jobs in Pakistan, and out of those 155,000 have been given to the locals of Pakistan. So this shows that the CPEC is a very good project, and BRI is not just a project; it's a vision, and this vision is cannot be given by uh, any politician. It is given by the statesman, by the President Xi Jinping. I would call him statesman because such initiatives are being given by the statesman. So this is a huge initiative, BRI and CPEC, and Pakistan has been benefited a lot from CPEC. The first phase has been completed in CPEC, and as I mentioned, there a lot of jobs have been created in Pakistan. The infrastructure development in Pakistan has been amazing. The Chinese are working on different power projects for Pakistan, whether it be Dasu, Suki Kinari, Karot hydropower. There are different hydropower projects to eliminate the electricity crisis in Pakistan under CPEC. There are some coal power plants and other Sahiwal coal power plants in Pakistan. So these initiatives and these steps uh, and the working style of China, this shows that the CPEC is growing on a very great speed. In past 10 years, CPEC has achieved huge milestones in Pakistan. It has created tremendous jobs. It has developed the entire infrastructure of Pakistan. It is trying to eliminate, as I mentioned, the electricity crisis, the gas crisis in Pakistan. The healthcare facilities has been improved under CPEC. Under CPEC, there are been different agriculture projects in Pakistan. There is a project called Chili Project in Pakistan. It comes under agriculture sector. So there are been very different projects working under CPEC, and all these projects are leading towards the reshaping of the economy and the reshaping of the uh, entire Pakistan in each, I would say, industry. So there have been some very exceptional stories to tell you and share you about under CPEC. Our driver, our own driver, his son used to be very intelligent. He used to go to school. Although he was our driver, we used to pay the bill and we used to bear the expenses of his school. But he was smart enough. He got the opportunity to get the scholarship from government of Pakistan. He did his engineering, and now you'd be amazed to see that he is now working at Dasu hydropower project as an engineer. So this shows that China has created a lot of opportunities for every class of people in Pakistan. Now that person who was son of a driver, now he's earning very good for himself, and now he's able to maintain and meet expenses of his family. So this shows that the people of Pakistan directly, indirectly, have been benefited from this project BRI and CPEC. I will share one more example. Uh, my friend at university, he used to stay at Skardu. He belonged to Skardu. So the overall distance from Skardu to Islamabad, where I'm sitting right now, it used to be more than of 24 hours. But after all this CPEC and infrastructure development, now he's able to reach Islamabad in 15 hours. You can see the difference between the timeline and how it has decreased. A person who used to come to Islamabad from Skardu Skardu is a city up there at Gilgit, where the CPEC is, where the Karakoram Highway and the CPEC route has been going towards the Kashgar and yeah, border towards with Pakistan. So that person now he's able to come to for the university and for education, for jobs. Those people they can come in 15 hours, 14 hours, which in past they used to come in 20. It used to took them 24 to 25 hours. So this shows that CPEC has been working very, I would say CPEC is a huge project for the improvement of Pakistan, for the people of Pakistan, for the economy of Pakistan, and overall reshaping the lifestyle of Pakistan.
Yeah, these are very touching and inspiring stories. We can see how the
Yes,
Belt and Road
indeed.
Initiative is really helping people for countries, for the Belt and Road countries to really live a better life and also to find maybe a better job opportunity. Yeah.
Yes,
And
indeed.
after sharing all of these, how do you guys see the prospects of China's economy going forward in short sentences? Maybe Innocent, you can share first.
Come again, Juju. My mic is a bit. Come again. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Oh, could you hear us sounding good? Yeah. Also, after talking about all of these, before we go, how do you each of you perceive the prospects of China's economy during the post-pandemic era? Maybe it's just in short sentences to share your feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, especially after being in Beijing a few weeks ago, I feel China is being more, how do you call it? It's being more observant on the key indicators, but also working hard to make sure that the infrastructure is well in place and ready to support the upcoming trends. And this has been, through my lens, it has been a dedicated effort on how you see everything is being standardized. Policies are being updated across all major industries. And behind the scenes, I think there's also a dedicated effort to see how this can be ported into the international space, what we call Chuhai. Yeah, so I'm sure there's a dedicated effort to see how they can export the experiences of the resilience effects to other countries within the friendship cycles. I mean, the bilateral engagements.
Yes. And what about you, Hongyi?
Yeah, I'd say China's economic recovery post-pandemic has been a very dynamic process that is still today continue to evolve. So there are some challenges. We also see some very positive signs in the market according to the financial indicators, right, in the past few months. So I definitely believe there's so much strength and resilience in the Chinese economy, and I'm fairly positive with the economic development. And I believe through this process, there will be new opportunities with the new tools like AI, we've been talking about it, and other emerging tools that can really empower our economy as a whole, and also empower us as entrepreneurs in different sectors to really help the economy economic growth eventually. And so just want to also encourage especially the fellow young entrepreneurs to keep an eye out there to watch out for new opportunities and also contribute to this economic recovery in our own capacity. Thank you.
Yes, great. And what about you, Moise? How do you see the prospects of Chinese economy in conclusion?
So the Chinese economy has been post-pandemic. Post-pandemic has been very exceptional. We can see the trends are going towards up. There's an upward trends for the Chinese economy. I would suggest and I would pray that people of Pakistan and the entrepreneurs of Pakistan, they can get benefited from this Chinese economy and the improvement of Chinese economy, because China is a huge market. It has a huge potential. The entrepreneurs from Pakistan, they can, or any other around the globe, and especially the countries under BRI, they can get benefited from the growing economy of China and how China is now becoming uh, business friendly for the people around the globe. So I would say that the with the help of improvement in the Chinese economy and the upward trends, this will help all the countries under BRI. They can get more opportunities. They can see, they can look for opportunities in the Chinese market, because the China economy is going towards up. The entrepreneurs and businessmen and people who are in the different sectors, they can also get benefited from this opportunity and the upward trend of Chinese economy. Especially Pakistan, we are working very close with the China, and we are the neighbor country of China. Luckily, I would call it luckily because we're lucky enough that we share the same border with you. We share a border with you guys. So people of Pakistan can get and learn from the upward trends from the Chinese economy and relate their economies with the Chinese economy and get benefited, especially the entrepreneurs and youth.
Yes, although there are many challenges, but there are many opportunities ahead in the
Yes,
post-pandemic time too.
yes. As you said, there are challenges, but we should look for the opportunities. When we look for the
Yes.
opportunities, we find ways towards going and achieving our goal.
Yes, always look for the opportunities. Thank you guys all for
Yes.
sharing your very insightful views on the evolving trends in China's economy and also your outlook for its future. We really hope that our exchange of ideas maybe has provided our audience with just a bit deeper understanding of the opportunities facing China's economy and also some new trends going on from the perspectives of our younger generation. So for our audience online, if you have any additional thoughts to share, please feel free to comment below to join our conversation. And we look forward to the next generation, to the next roundtable to talk more about how China's economy is performing. Bye for now. Thank you guys all.
Thank you. Thank you, Zhu Zhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Really have a good time.
Thank you. Yes,
Good day.
indeed.